Slime Survivor. Slime Survivor was a Nickelodeon game show that never got greenlit, and thus its pilot never aired. According to a Reddit user who witnessed the recording of the show, the game involved 100 kids doing various challenges, getting whittled down to 50, and eventually the series of challenges would result in one champion. Essentially, think of it as Fortnite in the year 2000 except as a Nickelodeon game show instead of a video game. Currently, only 3 screenshots of the pilot exist, from a crew-made 10-year anniversary montage of Nickelodeon Studios. Since the pilot never got greenlit, Nickelodeon hasn't released it and most likely won't do so ever. In fact, it's unknown if Nickelodeon even still has the footage. Pinellas Idol. In the early 2000s, a public access show was produced in Clearwater, Florida called Pinellas Idol. This show, much like American Idol, has people in a singing competition. The show was hosted by a man named Kenneth C. Christie. Not much is known about the show, including the number of episodes produced, and even who ended up winning. The Tampa Bay Times mentions someone by the name of Vonabelle Hurst winning Pinellas Idol, although it's unknown if it refers to the public access show or not. Currently, all that exists in a tangible form is the first episode, and just judging by what I saw in the first episode, I'm really embarrassed that this came out of my home state.
Doors were holding the wrong keys, not those of hope, but kilos of coke. Anybody can preach, but who will reach? Scarface on the shirt, the American dream, plus a bunch of ultimate hustler wannabes. TV, marketing.
GSN.com. I'm sure everyone knows about the Game Show Network. However, their website and the games that used to be playable on that website are a bit more obscure. The games were modeled based off the game shows that used to air on the main channel. And these weren't just the in-house produced game shows either. Acquired programming like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune were also playable games on the website. Sony launched a new site for GSN in 2012, and with that, most of the games became lost. Many of these games have screenshots available, and even a few of the games became found. But it's such a small percentage, there's still a lot of work to be done in finding these games. U2U. U2U was a TV show aired on Nickelodeon in the mid-1990s. The concept of the show was the showcasing of user-generated content, which was a fairly revolutionary idea at the time. Viewers could send content through various means such as fax and email to be shown by the two hosts Ali Rivera and Sertrone Starks. The show didn't seem to have focus and showed a diverse range of content, which, combined with the fact that a lot of viewers had a tough time grasping the complex concept of the show, meant that it had a tough time retaining an audience. Supposedly, the show had 20 episodes, stretched out and aired between 1994 and 1996, and to this day, only one of the episodes survives. As well as the main series, the show also had a spin-off called U2U On the Road, which only aired 4 episodes, with none of them being preserved fully.
Time now for Links, where U2U hooks up kids with the pros to bring their creations to life.
When you tell us you want to make a music video, we get you in the studio. When you say you want to make a cartoon, we find you an animator.
And when you told us you wanted to create your own video game, there's only one thing for us to do.
Get it in the arcade!
Station Zero. Station Zero was an MTV animated series that only lasted 1 season with 20 episodes. This series was similar to Beavis and Butthead in the sense that the characters would critique various hip-hop videos played on MTV. The premise involved a group of teenagers from the Bronx that ran their own public access show, essentially meaning that the critiques were in their own show in-universe. The people who made this series based it on a pre-existing comic strip they had made, hence the comic-like art style. The series had low ratings, and the show was cancelled very quickly due to this. Of the 20 episodes made, 15 of them are lost completely.
Girl, Missy misdemeanor Elliot right there.
It's more like a felony, my man.
What you talking about? It's a groundbreaking video right here.
Come on, dog. I know Fat Girl jumps around a lot, but I don't think she's breaking the ground. Bending a little bit, maybe.
Hotel 626 and Asylum 626. Both of these horror games were designed by Doritos, specifically as a marketing gimmick. Despite this, the games are remembered fondly by those who played them. The games had to be played between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., though changing your computer's clock could get around this. The premises of the games were rather straightforward, as they took place in either a hotel or an asylum depending on the game, and different tasks were performed in each. The asylum game is known for being more out there than the hotel one, which was a bit more subdued. The games were temporary in nature, as they only served to advertise Doritos products. As such, they've been lost since they were taken down in 2011. It's hard to imagine that bringing these games back is high on Doritos' priority list.
Embark with us now on a journey beyond all borders to a new dimension, one powered by endless possibility and unlimited imagination. Center Sphere Concourse, Grand Central Station for thousands of cartoon stars.
Cartoon Orbit. In the early to mid-2000s, Cartoon Network had an online trading card service on their website. This service was called Cartoon Orbit. Users could trade images called C-Tunes and use them to decorate digital rooms called C-Zones. Later on, G-Tunes were added, which were virtual games in the service. The service was frequently supported and updated in its early days until updates became less and less frequent, until the service was discontinued in late 2006. Active users were given a certificate that said thank you. Since Cartoon Orbit was discontinued, the likelihood of it being found is slim to none, although there is a project to revive the software. However, no updates on the progress have happened in the last 2 years. Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island pilot. Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island was an obscure kids' WB show that aired in the mid-2000s. The show is known for how critically panned it was, and judging by watching an episode, that's not surprising. Audiences really didn't buy how much of a shameless ripoff this show and titular character was of SpongeBob, and thus it quietly ended, only for people to occasionally remember how annoying it was. The show itself wasn't lost, but the pilot most certainly is. The pilot seems to be an earlier version of the episode Master of Disaster, with only small changes being made to the final show, such as different character designs. What's weird is that this had to be found or available to the public in some way at some point, because the surviving footage available comes from 2 YouTube poops. The person that made the YouTube poops says they don't have the file anymore, making the pilot lost once again.
Hey guys, let's have sex from a T-Rex! There's hot love on your head! Man.
Samsung Doorways. At the IFA trade show in Berlin, Samsung unveiled a Family Guy AR game that allowed viewers to see the inside of the Griffin's house in AR through their phone screen. The technology was cutting edge, and combining it with the fact that it's based off a well-known franchise like Family Guy, it's understandable why it was memorable to those who attended, as well as those who saw videos of the showcase. Outside of this one trade show, the game was not playable, bringing up questions of if this game would ever be released to the masses in any form. This game will only ever exist in the memories of those who experienced it in 2018. Professor Layton mobile games. The Professor Layton mobile games have a troubled past in terms of preservation. In 2012, Professor Layton Mobile R was a re-release of an app for the FOMA 903i 703i series mobile phones. The app was pretty packed with content: games, music, exclusive art, etc. Some of this content is found in the form of its original version, such as the ports of Curious Village and Diabolical Box. The most wanted piece from this app, however, is the game Professor Layton and the Mansion of the Deadly Mirror. A fair amount of screenshots from that game are available, and even a low-quality recording exists, but that's it. But even outside of Layton Mobile R, there's also another mobile Layton game that's lost. That would be Professor Layton and the Phantom Thieves. It was actually developed for Android and iOS and released in 2012. Like the other mobile Professor Layton games, it was Japan exclusive, but this game was a bit different. The gameplay was more similar to that of a board game and even had customizable characters. A Discord group was created to try to find this game, but even as the game's files have been found, the most that's been accessed is an error screen. Aside from this, only screenshots are available, and work is still being done to get this game in a playable state.